episode 97, the one-man band show. Today, I take you behind the scenes of making the one-man band Create the Life You Want video. And you are listening to episode number 97 of Mike Murphy Unplugged. Learn, create, move forward. I am your host, Mike Murphy. I'm a one-man band. I'm a technology junkie. I love helping people figure things out, and I am really excited to be here with you today. The goal of Mike Murphy Unplugged, it's to help you learn what you need to know in order to create online content so you can move forward in business and in life. Welcome to episode 97. Last week, I uploaded a video called One Man Band, Create the Life You Want. I got several questions about the video, so today I pull back the curtain on that video and I'm going to share what does the term one man band mean to me and my brand, what was the goal or reason for making the video, how did I make the video, and was I happy with the final product and did it get the results that I was hoping for? Okay, ready? Let's jump into episode 97, the one man band show. What does the term one man band mean to me? I use this term a lot in my branding. I've come to realize that there are many interpretations of this phrase. Some have negative connotations, as in, I don't like people, or I do not want to work with anyone. And I assure you that is not what it means to me, and I hope the majority of people out there do not see it that way either. I like being around and helping people, but I know that I marched my own beat. I've always been a bit of a lone wolf and independent in nature. So I see a one-man band as someone who is multifaceted, but not afraid to carve their own path, and someone who is self-motivated and resourceful, and not relying on anyone else to get the job done. I'm also a music junkie, and I use a lot of subtle music verbiage in my content and my brand. And because I have a wide skill set, slightly embarrassing, but I do relate to that street performer playing all the instruments, tapping the tambourine with a monkey on his shoulder. Yeah, which I think many people think of when they hear the term one-man band. And I'm okay with that reference. Very few people can comprehend just how many classes and tutorials that I've taken in the past 10 years and how much time I spend learning and practicing skills that I'm interested in related to tech, photography, design, audio, video, online business, etc. I've always had this mindset that if I need or want to create something, I just jump in headfirst and learn it. I love it. I love playing all the instruments. When I decided to start a podcast, I learned the steps to starting a podcast. I taught myself how to use Adobe Audition and edit audio. When I wanted to make animated videos for last year's holiday gift guide, I learned After Effects, and I have made videos in it nearly every single day since last November. And guess what? After Effects is now in my toolbox. Okay, there's my explanation of one man band. It's how I see myself, a man on a mission, not relying on anyone else to achieve what I want. What was the goal or reason for making the video? My main goal was simply to create a promotional video for Mike Murphy LLC for potential clients or brands who might be interested in working with me. I wanted a short video to put on my homepage that made it clear that I was a podcaster and a content creator, but I wanted it to be very true to how I am building this business and to let people really get a sense of who I am. My personal brand is less about the business of money, more about me creating and teaching and motivating others by working hard and living a high-quality life and taking the time to enjoy the scenery. On Instagram and Instagram stories, my favorite comments are on how it looks as though I love what I do because I'm always out on my bike or on the beach making videos and taking pictures and playing with my audio equipment. Yet they also comment on how hard I work because I create so much content on such a consistent and regular basis. It absolutely makes my day when someone tells me that I am motivating or inspiring them because I'm doing things different than everyone else online, and my work ethic and drive makes them want to work harder. I wanted the video to capture this. So, the reason for creating the video was to introduce myself to anyone visiting my website or discovering my content for the first time. I wanted them to know that I was a podcaster and a tech guy and I knew my stuff, but I also wanted them to know that I was someone who was creative, a little bit different, yet someone who worked really hard and had a positive message to share. How hard could that be to pull off? So how did I make the video? I have recorded several podcasts on the beach with this crazy contraption that I call the one-man band. I made it out of an old mic stand that holds all of my podcasts and video gear. It has a very MacGyver feel to it, and I think it has my name and style all over it. So the whole video started because I had this idea. I wanted a drone to be taking a close-up of me talking into a microphone without realizing where I was. I wanted it to look like just like any other podcasting pic where I was talking into a microphone with headphones. Then the drone would fly off to reveal me podcasting from a beautiful beach. Well, one problem is that I don't own a drone yet. So I asked a friend locally who shoots a lot of video and has a drone if he was up for the project, and he was all in. The main parts of the video was shot in 2 days. Day 1 was podcast set up at the beach at sunrise. Then day 2 is going to be capturing me riding my bike on the same route that I do every single day on my Instagram stories, and to end up with some drone footage on the beach. I wanted to capture a day in the life feeling and include all the elements of this business that I really love to do, but that are also relevant to content creation, personal branding, and podcasting. Mother Nature and lighting challenged us a little bit in the filming, but we made it work. It was a ton of fun. So along with the drone and the bike shots, I shot a lot of B-roll with my iPhone and my GoPro on each day and several other days to fill in the gaps of the video and try to make it interesting. Post-production was the biggest challenge for me. It took way longer than I wanted. Video projects are hard because you usually end up with so much footage and you have to sort through all of it. It sat on my hard drive for too long. So just a little bit on the workflow. On my MacBook Pro, I created a master project folder, and inside that folder I created several subfolders to hold the footage, and I separated by each camera in the day that we shot it on. I gathered still images from the B-roll and audio tracks that I thought might work, and I just started to organize it inside this master project folder. Adobe Premiere Pro is the video editor that I use to assemble all of the clips, and for those who understand how it works, I made one master timeline, then I created a bunch of individual timelines so I could stitch together and organize by little timelines and bring it all together at the end. I started with a couple hours of footage and I was able to create a finished product under 2 minutes, which was my goal. I was happy with that. I used Adobe After Effects, which integrates seamlessly with Premiere Pro to add some subtle effects in the titles. My music came from artlist.io, which is my new source for audio and videos. Once I finally set aside a time to really dedicate to editing, I was able to get everything done, I'd say, in about a week. The footage, though, sat on my hard drive for 2 to 3 months. I kept trying to get to it. It was actually getting me kind of stressed out. My advice to you, if you can, I recommend editing as soon as possible after a shoot, while you are really excited and the footage is fresh and you have the ideas in your head. This was tough, but I finally got it done. Was I happy with the final product? Did it get the results I was hoping for? Overall, I was very proud and happy of the video when all said and done. The truth is, the finished product was not exactly what I set out to create in terms of the overall tone and the style of video, but I created something that was meaningful to me, and that is aligned with the overall vibe of my personal brand. I think my goal at the beginning was to be slower paced, a little more documentary in nature, with a voiceover of me sharing what I do for my business and why I do what I do. The finished product was fast-paced. There was no dialogue. It was high-energy music. But I think it worked, at least for me. I've learned over the years the creative process. It has a mind of its own. So I've learned to trust my gut and to just go whatever feels right and not force something if it doesn't feel right. With videos, sometimes the footage is better in some places or it doesn't work as you originally thought. So you just have to adjust and go with it. Was I happy? Yes. Did I get the results I wanted? I posted this video on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Medium, and the response was really great. It did not set records or go viral, but the comments and the feedback said things that I hoped the video illustrated about me and the message that I want my brand to represent. Several people used words like creative, happy, inspiring, and completely different than everything else out there, and that makes my day. I was also picked up by a publication on medium.com, so that was pretty cool. The video is on my YouTube channel and the homepage of my website at mikemurphy.co, as well as in the show notes at mikemurphy.co/EP97 if you haven't seen it. And while it's not perfect, it's done. And I will proudly show it to prospective clients as I think it accomplished a lot of what I set out to do. But I'm just getting started. The next one is going to be even better. Okay, recap and wrap up time. If you have listened to this podcast for any length of time, you know that I think video promotion and marketing is mandatory for online branding and business. I have plans to do a lot more vlog style and quick videos such as this one that tell the narrative of me and my journey starting an online business as a way to connect with people interested in working with me. And they don't have to be elaborate. Just experiment, try new things. It could be the thing that puts you way above your competition. Okay, recap. One-man band. It signifies my journey to figuring out how to run a business that allows me to do what I like to do and not relying on anyone but myself to make that happen. When people see Mike Murphy LLC, I want to be associated with someone who is skilled and competent, yet moves swiftly and shows up every single day. That to me is being a one-man band. someone who gets things done. The goal of the video was to make a video to introduce Mike Murphy LLC to anyone who discovered my content for the first time, and to make a creative video that entertained and inspired and left the impression that my brand and style was unique, yet something they would like to know more about. I wanted it to be memorable and leave them with a good, positive reaction. While it may not have been exactly what I set out to make, I think it was a great start, and the reaction so far has been exactly what I hoped for. And finally, myself and one other person shot the entire video with a drone, 2 DSLR cameras, a GoPro, an iPhone, and I edited the video using Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. If you have any questions or feedback about the video, I would love to hear from you, mike@mikemurphy.co. Also, as a reminder, episode 100, it's almost here. I would love to get some more ratings and reviews to keep the podcast fresh in iTunes. So, if this podcast has helped you in any way in the past 100 episodes and you have not already left a rating and review in iTunes, I would greatly appreciate it if you did so. You can do it right from your podcast app. If you search for Mike Murphy Unplugged, you can see a little thing there that'll say write a review. Or just drop me a note at mike@mikemurphy.co. I would love to hear from you. And while in iTunes, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a future episode. Speaking of subscribing, are you on the Mike Murphy newsletter? If not, you can find it at mikemurphy.co/newsletter. But more importantly, I thank you for joining me today. I hope you join my one-man band, and together we can learn, create, and move forward. Cheers.